What is up, guys? Grimly Gaming here, and today we are going to be ranking all of the Chucky movies from best to worst. Please note these are just my opinions, but if you guys have different opinions, then let me know in the comments. I'd really like to see them. Also, if you guys would like me to do a tier list on another movie franchise or different killers, then also let me know in the comments too. I would really like to see what you guys come up with. Also, for the people who don't know, I stream every Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday on Twitch. Here is this week's stream schedule. But the games change up every week. But this week we were playing Amnesia on the Sunday. We're playing Dead by Daylight today on Monday, and Wednesday we are playing Layers of Fear 2. But yeah, enough talking. Let's get into the video. Okay, here we have the tier list. Here are the tier categories. We have a true class, never goes out of style. And if you guys have watched Bride of Chucky, then let me know in the comments below, because that is you'll find out my opinion later on. I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys. That would be bad of me. And we have It's Great, I would watch again. We have It's Okay. And we also have Not Trash, but would not be the first to think of, so it wouldn't be the first movie to come to mind. And I wouldn't watch. Not saying I wouldn't watch again, but I just wouldn't watch it just because. You'll find out. You'll find out which one. Okay, so let's start off. Okay, so we have Child's Play 1. We're gonna put it up in either It's Great, I would watch again. We're gonna put it in a true classic, because it is a very true classic, where it slowly introduces us to Chucky, where we see this boy blame things on Chucky. We have it blaming it on his doll, and everyone's just freaking out like, "You're crazy, kid. What are you talking about?" So this is why, and it has a great plot as well, from where we see Charles Lee Ray transform himself from man to doll, which is a great transformation. I always love to see it. But yeah, that is why I would put it in a true classic. Never goes out of style. Okay, Child's Play 2 is going up there as well, because Child's Play 2 is actually my favorite. I'd probably have to put it like before, like it would be the first to go before the first movie, just because I like the story of how Andy's being adopted and we meet Kyle, and it's just the whole aspect of it is just the character build up. So we see Kyle and Andy's relationship. First it's a bit distant, and as the movie goes on, they get a bit closer, and then when she finally realizes Andy was telling the truth, then they become as close as ever, and the whole factory chase scene and the whole kills that happen in the factory are amazing. Child's Play 3, I'd probably have to put it okay, or It's Great, I'd watch again. I'd probably have to put it there, to be honest, because personally, Child's Play 3 was okay. Actually, yeah, it's going to go in okay, because the whole army base thing, it was a good idea. But we had some really nice kills in that movie, I cannot lie. Where the dude like jumped on a grenade to protect everyone. That was really nice. But I just found that movie to be slow and in some parts boring. And I felt myself when I watched this again to do this tier list, I found myself yawning at some parts. Like, they just stick to in one section, they stick to one part. But I like the whole aspect where when Chucky goes into I think it's the sergeant's office or home office, and he says to the sergeant, "Don't fuck with the Chuck." I think that was a really good quote, and I do always laugh at that quote. Bride of Chucky. Okay, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this one, but I think it goes above Child's Play 3, and it's a great movie. This movie, it takes a whole turn on the whole Chucky series, from where we've seen Chucky be this killer and just straight downright killer, to he has a comedic side of it. Like, this is where it takes a comedic turn, which I think was really good. Some aspects was really funny, and all around the kills were really nice. I really liked some of the references they had in that movie, where they had one of the characters have like like get needles like put in their face, like in their whole head. And I personally think it was a reference to Pinhead, and so I really liked that reference. As a horror fan, it really stuck with me, and I was like, oh, that's a really nice one. But yeah, that's why it is going in. It's great. It also has some very, very great scenes with Jennifer Tilly, because Jennifer Tilly is top tier horror actress. That's also my opinion. But yeah, let's move on. So Seed of Chucky, I'd probably have to put is okay. Now this is where I felt like they were trying too hard to be funny. Where this is set around Hollywood, and they had some cheesy scenes in there, especially at the end where Glenn fights Chucky, and it just becomes a whole. I think this one, as I said, it tries too hard to be funny. It did have some good kills though, but all around it was more. I felt, for me anyway, as a Chucky fan, it felt more as a comedic film than it did a horror film. And you know, as some of us horror people prefer to see the horror rather than the funny side. I mean, the funny side, I guess it adds comic relief, but this one just was trying too hard. Now, Curse. Now, okay, I'm gonna put it in. It's great. It was a great movie, and we got introduced to some brand new characters. One of them being Brad Dourif's daughter, which again, top tier horror actress. Movie companies, get her in your horror movies. Great actor, okay. Yeah, this one had some really nice kills. Some scenes I didn't understand. But that's because the last time I watched Curse of Chucky was when it first came out. But yeah, I personally think it was a very great movie. But yeah, let's move on. Okay, Cult of Chucky. Ooh, this one's difficult. I'd put it in It's Okay, but I think I'm gonna put it in It's Great. The great part about it was, we found out that Chucky could transfer his soul into multiple dolls. But also it was sort of confusing on how he could do it, because in the previous movies we never got introduced to any of that. Like, it was just he could only transfer his soul into one doll, and he had to get his soul out of that doll into Andy, which was the first person he revealed his true self to. But also, I forgot to say as well, for Curse, at the end, I think it was in the after credits, we see a cameo from Alex Vincent. Yes, Andy Barclay himself. But then moves over to Cult, where Andy is in this movie and he's just going all out for Chucky. And there is this one kill with Alex Vincent as well. Oh, I just think it's so good, where he reaches into one of the Chucky doll's stomach, and he pulls out a gun that he hid in there, which was really, really gruesome and cool. But yeah, that's why I'm putting it in that one, in the It's Great category. And Child's Play reboot, I wouldn't watch again. I personally wouldn't. I went to go see this in theaters, and I personally, it just disappointed me. Not saying it's not a good movie. I mean, some of you might disagree with me on that one, but as an OG Chucky fan, I just couldn't agree with the movie. Like, it didn't sit well with me as a Chucky fan. I just felt like I felt like it tried to be too hard of what the first movie was. I mean, you got some scenes in there which emulate the first movie. Was like when the worker lands on the car, which I thought was supposed to be a reference to Aunt Maggie's death in the first movie, where she falls out the window and onto the car. But the whole buddy aspect, where I understand it's supposed to be, modernized, where, we've got stuff like Google Home, Amazon Echoes, and stuff like that, where we can control our home with it. But I just couldn't sit well with it. I mean, it had some good kills, like with the drone sequence, where it had drones and stuff in there, and it was killing people. But I don't know, I just couldn't accept it as a Chucky movie, to be honest. They could have literally named it, and like, it didn't have to be named Child's Play. It could have literally been named something. It could have been its own movie if it wanted to, like, straight out. That's how not close to the original it was. It literally could have been its own movie. That's facts, rather than being a Child's Play reboot. But anyway, guys, that is my opinions. Leave comments in the comments below if you agree with me or disagree with me. And if you disagree with me, let me know what you'd rank these movies as. But yeah, if you guys want to follow me on any of my other socials like Twitter and Instagram, I even have a TikTok, then make sure they're in the link in the description, so make sure to follow me on those ones. Also, we have merch. That'll be in the link in the description as well. And also, make sure to hit that like button, slap that subscribe button, turn on that notifications bell so you'll be notified every time I upload. Remember, guys, stay spoopy.